Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and today we're going to take a look at the new D.Va, because I've been trying to work out how the hell do you play this D.Va, and I think, guys, she is super powerful. Not in like an OP way, which is a totally different hero, and it's super fun. Also, as well, I apologise for the mess and the state of things behind me. My computer, this thing here, it broke down the other day, so I had to try and fix it, and everything is all over the place. So, yeah, I apologise for that. Professionalism as ever. Anyway, let's get stuck into this, guys. What we're looking at here is this new D.Va, which is most definitely a goddamn DPS tank, right? She does a ton of damage, and that's the way to use it. But you'll see in this video, I'm still confused. Like, I still use her sort of old D.Va. So I'm going in here with Winston. I'm like, oh, look, Winston's gone in. I'm going to dive in with Defense Matrix. But, oh, God, Defense Matrix only really lasts for, well, half the time it lasted before. And my mech is gone. Now what we're going to see is a very awkward period where the enemy team don't kill me. They keep me alive, and I get to spam them with my little bunny blaster, which is great. But the main problem there was I went in thinking I was old D.Va. You can't do that. Like, some people are arguing that Defense Matrix has been a little bit over-nerfed right now. Like, I don't know whether that's the case. It is, if you play D.Va how she was played before, which is exactly what I did there, which is, like, the wrong thing to do. You don't play D.Va like this. So what we will see as we go throughout this game is an evolution of my gameplay where I realise, you know what? Let's try playing D.Va a little bit of a different way, a more aggressive way, a more sort of solo target dive way when I'm not getting charged by Reinhardt. And that was really lucky that I didn't get hit by that. And that's kind of where I'm at. So, again, I've been demech because this is still a little bit rough. We're still taking losses. Mercy's still throwing out reses and all of that good stuff. But what we are going to see is, hopefully, it will be made clear in this video as it goes on. Like, well, I know it is. I played the game, ladies and gentlemen. Also, you can't hear my in-game voice because I didn't record it because I'm such a goddamn noob. So this is sort of the turning point here. This is where I'm realising, okay, I should be really aggressive here. Just dive onto people, just do damage to them, because D.Va's got a load of health. I mean, look, she's got 600 combined armor and health. That is a lot, right? She can take a ton of damage. I know she doesn't have Defense Matrix as much as she did before, and I know she's a really big target, so she's easy to hit for people like Soldier, McCree. But the thing is, you can like dive onto people, and that there is horrifically bad. I don't know what she was trying to do. Well, I think what they were trying to do was get the Genji blade into a grab, but Genji died immediately as he pulled his blade out. So there you go. I should have ate that orb there and not let it hit me for Symmetra ultimate charge. All right. You guys probably heard the noise there of me opening my microphone, but I'm not actually, you can't hear my voice, but I think I was probably saying something like, let's go fast, guys, let's go fast. I don't know. All right, so this is kind of like, we're just on the point, you know, I'm just doing D.Va things, right? I'm making sure I'm always using primary fire when I jump around, because it's such a hard thing to get into your head, this is, because when you dive, when you use the boosters, right, you can fire as well. So you have to, like you see there when I was firing at McCree, right, flying at McCree, I should have fired my missiles at him, then Defense Matrix, then flew at him. So there's a lot of problems with my play when it comes to the new D.Va. Like, I constantly screw up my, like, the flow of D.Va's abilities, right? Sometimes I use them correctly, sometimes I don't. One major gripe I've got, which does get better throughout this clip, is when I'm boosting, I should be firing, and I don't do that enough. Like, I really need to do that more, because it's going to output more damage, because D.Va outputs quite a lot of damage. She's a tank, and she puts out a ton of damage because she's a tank which is used like Genji. If that makes any sense. You just dive into people and, like, smash them. You sit at range and you fire, which is great and which is fine, with your micro missiles and maybe a bit of primary fire, but you're not going to do much damage. Then when you see somebody low, you just dive into them. There is literally nothing that can stop you getting there unless you take a massive load of damage, which if that happens, then obviously that's a problem with your D.Va positioning. If you're sneaky with D.Va, you can just do a ton of damage. So I think I'm leading at the moment for eliminations in the team. That's just because I've been involved in most of the fights, which is exactly what you want to do.
McCree, we need a shield. Like Ryan or Orisa.
This guy talking about we need a shield if we play with McCree. We kind of do have a shield. Like, Winston is pretty good on defense here anyway, because you can sort of counter dive them as they come through, but it doesn't really matter. Like, little things like that, you kind of get bits of misinformation from time to time. Anyway, this is D.Va on defense now. Remember, we do not have the same amount of defense matrix we had before. This, I think, is the main reason a lot of D.Va players, especially D.Va mains, like, I'm not a D.Va main, don't get me wrong, I'm not pretending to be a D.Va main, but D.Va mains, they are a little bit miffed if they were very used to the defensive D.Va playstyle, which was You were there using your defense matrix to block a lot of attacks coming in. You were protecting your back line. You were stopping your Zenyatta being like dived by Tracer, for example. Now you can't really do that as much, but you can actually dive the enemy team. Like, it's almost like a role reversal. Instead of being highly defensive, you are kind of defensive, but you're also extremely aggressive. Like, I can't stress how this is a complete, like, it's a complete shift. Like, you've gone from being really defensive to jumping on targets when you know you can get a kill to just being this goddamn killer. Like, she is so fun to play. But we need to go back to thinking about the way I use the combos, right? So primary fire boosting, and that is a massive fail moment. And the micro missiles, you've got to use them with the right rhythm. Better D.Va players now will have the rhythm down, and they will do more damage. So I'm going into just putting in damage at range. This is something D.Va would always do. I noticed there's a Tracer going behind, so I'm going to start contesting the Tracer. I'm firing my micro missiles here, which I think was the right thing to do, just to get a bit of splash damage out. It's going to be very hard to hit Tracer with micro missiles, so you may as well fire them and see if you can just kind of hit her with a few, and I did manage to do that. And you'll notice there, I fired the micro missiles at range. It's your only real distance or range damage attack. So you've got to be prepared to sort of use it, especially if you're going to fire it into chokes like that there, which makes total sense, right? Because I'm going to be able to hit a lot of them. Now, this is kind of failure on their part to take me out. I am Baby D.Va, and I'm still alive because they keep missing me. It's probably lucky that Hanzo didn't have Scatter Arrow at this point. Anyway, we get suited back up, and we start diving back in on Hanzo. I mean, that there, did you see that? That is an insane damage combo. That is boost, that is micro missiles, that is primary fire, and then I meleeed as well. That is so much damage, it's just incomprehensible. You can wipe out most heroes in this game when they are isolated, but that is the thing. Getting them when they're isolated, that's either because they overextend or you're very clever and see an opportunity. Like this D.Va there, that is major overextension by that D.Va. That is because she thought she was the old D.Va, but she's not. And this is the thing you've got to remember. So when I talk about ways you've got to change your D.Va playstyle up, and I highly think she's, well, I very much think, ladies and gentlemen, she's highly effective, this hero is, but she's not the old D.Va, right? So you can't use her in the old D.Va way. And all I mean by that is you can't be, like, she's not in every game, right? She's not like oh, I'm just going to pick D.Va because, well, I mean, look at that. You said damage there into Zen. That was insane damage. It made him pop Transcendence. Admittedly, it's not looking great for our team, but that damage output there on Zen, if he didn't have Transcendence,
do you want to try it?
He's absolutely dead. And this is great. Watch this. Watch this.
Well, you know, the ult.
So Mercy comes in with the big res, and then she pops her ult, reses again. I kill somebody, which is beautiful, Zen. Genji goes crazy. We actually managed to hold this point. That was pretty huge play there. It was a good play off the Mercy, and we managed to keep the point active, which was awesome. But yeah, going back to this mentality of I'm just a big defense matrix bot, it's not the case anymore. But that also means she's not like 100% pick. There will be times when you won't want to play a D.Va. Nice. Like if the enemy team have got Zarya and she's playing well, and maybe they've got a Mei, which they might have, or even a Symmetra, things like that can be very difficult for you to deal with as a D.Va player. But you can just kind of circumnavigate them. Like, don't engage them. Just sort of go after the targets you know you can kill. Like, Zarya is always going to be a hard one, 1v1. Everybody else, though, I mean, you see that Zen there and those guys at range? Before, you wouldn't have been able to do any damage to them with this D.Va, but now you can because you can just filter in some missiles. It's very nice. Like, you've got this option for range damage, this very powerful close range damage with your fusion cannons while you're boosting towards people. I mean, this Tracer here is having a really bad time against me. Roadhog as well. Surprisingly, you can do a ton of damage to Roadhog. Obviously, Roadhog, this is the new Hog, so he can absorb loads of damage. So he pretty much doesn't die ever unless everybody on the team is attacking him. But yeah, I think what I'm saying is, guys, about this D.Va is she's very enjoyable to play. At first, I was worried because I thought she'd be a massive ultimate battery, and I still kind of think she is a little bit. But if the enemy are targeting you down, then you need to swap your hero. And let's be honest here, guys, that is like one of the main things with Overwatch. You're supposed to swap your hero to, well, counter what the enemy are doing, right? That's supposed to, you know, not just play one hero constantly. I know there are other heroes in the game which can do that as well, which, you know, I think will always be the case for some heroes, but it's not the case for D.Va. But there will be moments where you'll be able to be highly effective. And when we look at what the enemy team composition is here, we notice that, yeah, they've got a Mei or a Zarya, or they did have a Zarya, but is she actually being that effective against me? And she wasn't really, because it wasn't like I was taking 1v1s against her. I think she actually changed to Roadhog, which
We've already
is fair
got
enough.
time in them, so it's gone well.
Oh, I'm dead.
Obviously-
I'm dead. Right side, right side, right side, right side.
So I'm listening to the calls here. I know they're coming right side. I'm trying to take out Genji because you are a literal nightmare for Genjis. Genjis can't really kill you. Like, you can just chase them down and just put loads of damage into them. I thought this was going to be a huge bomb. I think I get the Zen. Yeah, I get the Zen. That was okay, but I get killed, unfortunately, by the Hanzo ult. I kind of went into a bad area. What I was thinking is I'll duck in behind the point, get my mech back, because obviously you always want to be in the mech with D.Va. There's really probably no time you want to be outside the mech unless you got, well, forced out of the mech. I think with old D.Va before, there were some times where you might have wanted the range damage from the Bunny Blaster rather than the actual, like, the mech itself, but the fact you've got micro missiles now kind of makes that redundant, so you always want to be in the mech as D.Va. So that's why I'm prioritizing just getting straight back into it, no messing around, because you're still, the D.Va mech is still the same as it was before. It just has half the defense matrix, so that reduces half its projectile interception capability, but it's still a goddamn, I mean, look at it. It's got 400 health and 200 armor. It is not a weak thing. This is a super, super strong thing, and you can, like, quite frankly abuse that. Like, I just think, guys, this D.Va is so, I don't know, like, well, it's not that I don't know. I firmly believe she's really good. I think she's at first I was a bit worried. I thought maybe she could go down the path of just not being used at all. Now, though, she feels to me like she does have a very specific use, and you can be quite cheeky with her, and there's a lot more skill involved in playing this hero, because before you just use defense matrix. Now you've got all these different abilities. So if I just go into a little bit more general commentary on what I'm doing here, because there's a lot of mistakes that I'm noticing here, and while I've been trying to explain my thoughts on D.Va and the way I think she works now, and the way that you just literally have to be more aggressive with her, I think, like, looking here, right, so yeah, I'm firing micro missiles. A lot of them miss there, though. Managed to chase the Genji down, though, and our Genji got the finishing blow on him. It's sort of like I get confused a lot with firing micro missiles, and none of them really hit, or a few of them hit. Like, I mean, you can see, like, I'm involved in most eliminations here. I'm doing really well. Remember, I'm D.Va, I'm the tank, right? Or I'm one of the tanks. I guess Winston is the tank in this team. But you put out so much damage. She's almost like a hybrid, right? And it kind of makes you think, like, people like Zen, you know, he's like a hybrid DPS support, isn't he? Is that the way we're going to be going with Overwatch? You know, maybe with new heroes, maybe they become more hybridized. I don't know. I've always thought that class or hero class definitions are a bit weird in Overwatch anyway. Like, a lot of the defense heroes are DPS heroes, you know. Symmetra, is she really a support? Isn't she not really a defense hero? You know, there's a lot of confusion there, but it's generally just for new players so they get an idea. Anyway, like I said, I was going to do a bit of commentary on what's going on here. So I'm flying up above the point just to keep myself alive, firing the micro missiles off, and continuing to fire primary fire, which is what you should be doing. I've got my bombs, so I'm going to do the standard D.Va, chuck it up in the air just to get people off the point, and it killed 2 people. So it was totally worth it. Good timing. I mean, nothing's different there with D.Va bombs. They're just the same. There's no change on that. Zen is isolated here, so he's a really easy target for me to kill. I mean, he's putting a lot of damage into me because I was kind of low, but I wrecked him. Like, Zen is one of your primary targets with D.Va. I mean, I guess I can just go through that. So you can wreck Zen. You can wreck Genji. If you chase Genji, you will wreck him. Tracer is a little bit different. You can still do a lot of work to her, though, because she has to be within your fire range to do damage to you, right? Or good enough damage to take you out. So it's a bit, you know, it's kind of close there. Winston, you're very good against Winston. Roadhog is, you can attack him, but he's just going to out-heal and run away. So it's going to be a pretty boring fight. Also, he's obviously going to do quite a lot of damage back to you if he's just solely focusing you back, which you kind of need to avoid. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, like, you only really need to be scared of a good Zarya player and maybe a May. You know what I mean? I just think she's so great. And there we go. We managed to take the point there. So, I mean, obviously I didn't do too bad there. Like, I was quite surprised. 48 eliminations, bronze damage, 4 deaths. That's pretty damn good. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. This has been a bit of a breakdown of my gameplay on the new D.Va, and I think she's great. Like, I don't think you guys know what I think about Mercy, but I don't think she's that bad, and I think there's definitely a place for her, but she is a bit of a different hero. Alright guys, I'm Untitled, so this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I'm off to clean this absolutely
43. Wow.
Terrible mess up. I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.